Honestly, I was hoping Michael would talk longer, but I did start taking some notes. So I think, yeah. Hey, how's it going? I feel like, are you still okay? No, join me. Yeah, it's a cozy stage. No one I'd rather be cozier with. All right, my wife is here. Just kidding. Okay, so. All right, fair enough. All right, fair enough. So if you've heard me tell jokes before, then some of you might know. Someone's waving at you, sir. Okay, if you've heard me tell jokes before, some of you might know that I'm half Asian because I have an Asian mom. And if any of you have grown up with an Asian mom, judging from the first couple rows, probably not, then you would know that a lot of Asian moms are frugal, apparently. Mine was, and I assume that's the sample size that I have. But she was very frugal growing up. And so, like they used to do this thing. I grew up in Indiana. There was a store, and it's like a Kroger store. And they would do this thing where they would have like days where the coupons were like worth twice as much. And so my mom would go and she would collect just like so many coupons. She had a friend, there's like another Asian friend who like gets the newspapers, and she would just take a stack of them at the end of the day and like clip all the same coupons. She'd have multiple for the same item, right? This is not the funny part of the story. She goes to the, Kroger store, and it's like, it's on sale, and she's got like a 2-time power-up coupon. She's like, here's a stack of coupons. And then now Kroger owes her money of something, okay? And they're like, I don't know, I guess like take a gift card. So then she comes home, she's like, you guys want a Subway? Amazon? She's like handing out gift cards, because apparently Kroger owes her money. I don't know who you are anymore, you know what I mean? Like you might be curious of like who's the one that would maybe be most likely in the mob. I don't know. But the point is, she knows how to hunt for a good deal, right? So that's kind of the takeaway, right? Is that she is always looking for a good deal. And so there used to be these things that I think they still exist, but I haven't actually thought about it until the other day. I remembered this story. But my mom, we were like at the store and we saw, like, how they have like the string cheese and they have the little like cubed cheese or whatever. Those are not the most cost-effective ways to buy cheese, I think. And so we get just a regular block of cheese, right? A loaf of cheese, as they say. And we go home, and my mom is like, well, here, check it out. Look, bam, 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 bam. Now it's cubed cheese. And I was like, wow, that's so crazy. So me and my sister are like, wow, this is so cool. Now we have our cubed cheese. I guess so. It's like, it looked cool. Like Pokemon food or something. I don't know. And so our dad comes home, and we're like, Dad, look how cool this is. We got cubed cheese. And my mom's like, yeah, they're so proud of it, whatever. And we're all proud of it, right? And my dad's like, yeah, she's the best at cutting the cheese. And this is probably a good time to tell you that English is my mom's second language. And so we're all like, yeah, she's so good at it. And my dad's like, yeah, she's the best. And we're all proud of her. And she's just like, oh, and she's like embarrassed, not because of what you think, but she's embarrassed because she like doesn't usually get this kind of praise for her knife skills. You know what I mean? It's like, and so she's just like, it is what it is. And then he tries to explain it to her. And she's like, what does that, she didn't learn about idioms till this is the day that she learned about what idioms are and stuff. And so there are things in the English language that are weird and quirky. And she learned about him that moment when she was like, are you not proud of me? And he's like, no, I'm very proud of you. And so that's how we found out what that meant. But so the thing is, English is her second language, right? But so what she told me about this is she the next day, she goes to her neighbor a couple apartments down who is a native English speaker, probably white. It was Utah at the time. And anyway, she goes up to her neighbor and she's like, teach me all of them. And so she just they start learning figures of speech, idioms, slang, and she just tries to learn all of it because she's like, what else have I been saying that my husband is laughing at? I don't know. So, so that's, she's the best at cutting the cheese. And so that's a fine story and all, but the funny thing is I have not had cubed or little diced cube cheese since then. My mom never did it again. She retired that knife that day. That's the end of that era. Anyway, all right, that's fun. But yeah, so, coupons, that's the kind of thing that we would do growing up to get a good deal, right? And I guess that's fine. It is what it is. Speaking of weird quirks, so there's a lot of weird quirks in the English language. This is not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about growing up a nerdy Star Wars fan. Any Star Wars fans in the room tonight? Just kidding, it's okay. Here's the thing. First of all, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. And let me just set the record straight that I'm a very casual Star Wars fan. I've seen all the movies at least once. I've seen a handful of some of the Obi-Wan Kenobi because he was the coolest, and a handful of the cartoons when I was younger. I don't read the books. I don't know the lore. I don't know outside. I've just seen, okay? If they're not on the big screen, I don't know about them probably. So this is the context for how much I know about Star Wars. But I was thinking about Star Wars, and you can use context clues. Half Asian, right? I've already told you this. when I look at a movie like Star Wars, I'm like, all right, I'm half white as well. And I look at that, I'm like, yeah, I could be me. You know what I mean? I could be the chosen one. They're right. But I'm also half Asian, and they look at me, I'm like, oh, dang, I'm like the annoying one in the seventh movie. I'm like, what? The side character everyone hates? Like, dude, it's Jar Jar Binks and then me? Come on, man. Like, that's not cool. But here's what I learned is that Star Wars, intergalactic multiplanetary travel. That's crazy, right? And of all the planets and all the, galaxies they can find, it's some ignorant kid who doesn't know anything about Jedi. Like, dude, look farther, man. I'm just like, all these other species, it's just some, they all look the same, right? And the thing that kills me, though, is like, that's not just the good guys. Like, who are the villains of Star Wars? They're old and white. Look, not all old and white people are villains. They know. They're old and white, usually bald, which I don't know what it means if someone's bald or not, but like half the villains in Star Wars are bald, right? They're all old, they're all white. And the thing is, like, half of them are young white person grows up, learns the Force or whatever. Like 8 out of 10 of them, Sith Lord. The other 2 are like Han Solo and Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? The ratio is just terrible, you guys. And what I'm saying is, George Lucas is like, who's going to be put in power? Old white people. Who's going to be able to stop him? Hopeful young white people. And then America was like, that checks out. Yeah, do that. Yeah. So that's crazy, right? Like, what are the chances? And so the thing that kills me is you get all these people that are like, just like, why are they always the villain? And the thing is, not every white person is a Sith Lord. But every Sith Lord's a white person, and I'm like, look, it's not your fault. It's just the way it is. That's the way the cards shook out. But the point is, like, I was thinking about Star Wars. I was like, that's so dumb. They go anywhere, find somebody else. You know what I mean? And the thing is, half the old people grow up. 8 out of 10 old people grow up to be Sith Lords. Every Asian person that grows up, that's right, mentor friend. They're not the villain ever. And the thing is, if they started making the Asian people or like people of color like the villains, that'd be racist. But if they don't make any of them, also racist. You can't win. It's unbelievable. And it's not just Star Wars. Like George Lucas, I mean, you look at him, you're like, I guess that makes sense that that's who he'd pick. But then they're like, okay, what about Lord of the Rings, right? Or what about Harry Potter, Voldemort? Bald, white. Okay, look, nobody knows. Okay, what about freaking Marvel, dude? Thanos, bald, white guy. Okay, he's not bald in real life. Thanos is bald in the movies, though. They make him purple, voiced by a white guy. Same with Yoda. Same with so many people. He's purple in the movie to hide the fact that he's white. It's fine. Like, look, I'm onto it, dude. I'm onto Hollywood, and like, no one's surprised when you see that Hollywood's like, oh, really? You're like making fun of Star Wars for not being realistic? I'm like, I guess that's fair. That's fair. And I haven't traveled to a lot of planets, so maybe all the other planets are white. I don't know. Maybe they're far away from the sun. I don't know. Okay. I appreciate Michael's laughter because I'm derailing right now. We're like going down. I mean, I've only been talking it feels like so short. I wrote down like 7 bullet points and I'm on like 6 right now, you guys. Okay, this is, wow, what? Oh, that's okay. All right, that's a mean trick to play. They're trying to cut me off. All right. Game on. I didn't look at the beginning, that's fair. But yeah, okay, but so the thing is like, the villains are always bald, and I'm like, that's kind of mean. And I feel like, I got lucky, like, so far I still have my hair, I feel old, and I'm like, all right. But I mean, like, you look at Utah, I'm like, that's gotta hurt, right? Like, I mean, just kidding. Okay, that's a bird. Just making enemies with the audience. All right, felt that one. Yeah, felt that, okay. Okay, but like, like, it's like superheroes are like no better either, right? Like Marvel, right? You got, or like, just like superheroes in general, because they're not all Marvel, but like, you got Iron Man, Batman, Captain America, they're all white and rich and male. What? Why? And so the thing is, like, some people were like, okay, but Captain America, I mean, he's not that rich. I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't see him working at the Daily Planet, and he buys a lot of rare metals. I don't know. And the thing is, I think what happened is in the 40s when they froze his assets, inflation did well for him. They did well for his biceps, did good for his pocketbook. You know what I mean? Like, I think he had, I don't know, maybe he had a house that he paid like $100 for, and now it's worth $1 trillion or something. I think that's how it works. When you buy houses in the 40s, I think you just pay with your cash that you brought or something. Different than now. You gotta sign a lot of paperwork now, and like sell your kidneys or something. I don't know. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, no offense to anyone who has had to sell a kidney to afford housing in America or Utah County, dude. That was not what I came here to talk about. We're getting off topic a lot. But the point is, like, there are so many things in movies that I'm like, they went so far out of their way to make it a certain way. And like Lord of the Rings, right? Like they're all like dwarves, elves, hobbits. They're like doing camera tricks to get people short. My mom's already short. Like she would just fit, and they'd be like, oh, look it, she's way shorter than Gandalf. You would just already, you know what I mean? But the reason that the hobbits are not Asian, I realize this, is because if you want to milk a series or a trilogy or like a bunch of movies and stuff, you don't have the most efficient race of people do it. She would, like, instead of 20 hours, it would be like 45 minutes. She'd be like, dude, I got some, like, I'll just go right now. I got my sandals and everything. And she would just go. It'd be like a 45-minute movie. And then they'd be like, I'll take the ring. I'm really good with gold. She'd make money on it or something. I don't know. She'd come home and be like, I got 3 rings now, dude. I'm like, I don't even know what that's good or not. So the point is, it would just not really work if you're trying to milk, Hollywood for everything they're worth to make just one movie with. My mom's too efficient. It's a problem. My mom also has this thing that I have adopted as well. And I don't know how to turn it off or how it started or how to get rid of it. It's this thing that it's called How Hard Could It Be? And like 80% of the time you save like a little bit of money, and then like 20% of the time like you gotta call the fire department. But usually it's like, how hard could that be, right? And so this is the mentality that I take throughout my life, and that is the reason that I'm up here on stage. Like, how hard could comedy be? How hard could that be? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna start that. Yeah, see, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, I'm trying to think of, you got Jonathan going. Yeah, so I guess the point is my goal is to be an Asian mom. She's efficient, she's frugal, she'll crack the whip if she needs to. She learns other languages. I'm just working on the one, I don't know how, like, can you imagine you go to another language and you're like, hello, how are you doing? And they're like, haha, you farted. And you're like, what? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. That's what it would be like when you find out that cutting the cheese. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. All right, so I can tell a lot of you are native English speakers. Do you don't think that'd be crazy? All right. I just think, I don't know, I feel like I'm just like I've seen the 4 minutes. I'm like, I feel like I could keep going. I think it's fine if I don't, though. I feel like it's good to end on my goals to be an Asian mom. The problem is I'm not a woman or a mom, but my wife is doing in a month. That's pretty exciting. Yeah, dude. Thank you. So these have been some jokes. I always tell people I'm working on my dad bod, and then I tell a dad joke. I'm like, look, body and mind, we're working on it all to get ready for August. We gotta raise him right. We gotta have some dad jokes ready and something for him to take a nap on, whatever, little cushion. So I got rid of my washboard abs in favor of the gut. So Jonathan's known me for a couple years. He's like, that's not true. He hasn't had that for a while. He's like, I don't know how you got married. He never had. All right, that's fair. That's fair. I deserve that. Anyway. You've got some nerve. Just kidding. I think I'm just going to sit down now. Do you want this back? All right, thank you. My name's Elden. Yeah.